Hello plant people, how are you guys doing today? If you're new around here, my name is Ashley and I'm a soil scientist. On this channel I like to take that science and apply it to all things plants. And in today's video we are talking about the crops or the flowers or the plants that I have grown in my garden in the last 10 years that I will never, ever grow again, or that I'm still battling with to this day. So this is my warning to anyone considering these crops. All jokes aside, some of these are going to work for you, and some of them won't. So this is my personal experience of what I do not like. You may very heavily disagree with some of these, but I'm just going to go into exactly why I hate these crops and why I'm just done with them. I'm done with them. So Amaranth is my number one arch nemesis. I'm done with it. I'm so done with it. So years ago, probably 7 years ago now, I planted Amaranth before it was cool to plant Amaranth. I planted it because I wanted the hot pink puffy ball cascading things. And ever since then, I've had Amaranth everywhere, all over, every pot, every inch of garden soil that is laying bare. I will get a massive amaranth tree growing out of it, and it's invasive. It has to be invasive. I don't know how and why you can grow it in my zone, but it is. I did not realize this whatsoever. I mean, it was new to the market in my area when I decided to grow it, when I decided to start it from seed. Ever since then, I have regretted it so much. It is everywhere. And I understand that it's edible and I could eat it and I could clip it down, but it's so irritating to deal with. And I'm done. I'm over it. I'm over the amaranth. So that is one crop I will not go with ever again. My second one is watermelons, and people are going to disagree with me on this. However, you have to understand I'm in a zone 3. So I'm in a zone where without proper setup, meaning a hothouse, a high tunnel, a low tunnel, something to increase the overall ambient heat around the plant, both during the day and at night, it is near to impossible to get a fruit off of it. They just tend to not do very well here. There are some shorter season varieties out there, but none of them are short enough for me in just the setup that I have. And I can start them indoors, but melons, as many of you know, do not transplant well, bottom line. So watermelons, I'm taking a break from the watermelon world. I'm done with them for now. Third one is planting too many zucchini plants. So zucchinis are the plant that never stops giving. And for whatever reason, every year I decide to put way too many seeds in, and then I feel way too bad about actually chopping any of these seeds down. And so I end up with literally a truckload of zucchini at the end of the year. So my goal of 2021 is to limit the number of zucchini plants I put in the ground, because I'm sick of eating zucchini bread until mid-February the following year. The next one is the ground cherry or the Chinese lantern plant. I planted these 5 years ago because everyone was like, tomatillos or whatever. They're so tasty, they're so good, you should plant them. So I planted them thinking that they were tasty and good, and they taste like junk. They're sour and they're gross. And now they've taken over my garden. They are another plant where I'm just blown away that they're sold, because I swear to goodness they are invasive. I have them over in the one corner by my pond. Thank God they're isolated to that one area. But every year there is so many of them that they need to be thinned out, because if you didn't, they would just literally choke each other out. They have zero chill whatsoever. So ground cherry, never again. The next one, I didn't plant this. I inherited this with the house, I think, or I don't know if they planted it or if it came from somewhere, but the creeping bellflower So it's this blue thing, and a lot of people ask about this because it is pretty, but it is invasive, and it's invasive to the point that the government in my area anyways has asked that you rip these plants out or you get rid of them in some way, shape, or form because they are invasive. So creeping bellflower, I didn't plant it, but I did inherit it, and it is slowly taking over one portion of my yard. One that I actually don't mind, but that bothers a lot of people, is lily of the valley. Now I have lily in the valley in my front flower bed. My front flower bed is impossible to grow anything in. It is so hot, so warm, and so drought all the time that lily of the valley tends to not do invasively well there. So it doesn't irritate me that much. However, it's like this short, stocky, ugly looking tulip thing. So I can understand why some people don't like it. Plus, in some areas under ideal circumstances, this stuff spreads like a weed. Coreopsis. I have Coreopsis. I inherited Coreopsis as well. And this plant does not die. It is in my front flower bed, high heat, drought, horrible soil, and it does not die. It just multiplies. And if I didn't every year literally hack that plant up and rip portions of it out of the ground, it would take up that entire front flower bed. They're these tall daisies. They're at least 4 feet tall, minimum 4 feet tall, and they will take over whatever landmass you give them. They just take it over. I couldn't imagine that plant being in ideal circumstances because I feel like it would be a weed. It would be a weed. And the last one, Ostrich Fern, my other inherited nemesis. Originally, when I bought the house, they were over, Jackie's getting upset. They were over in one area of my backyard, and I initially just left that area because I wasn't interested in planting anything there. And then I thought, okay, I'm gonna rip all these ostrich ferns out. And I guess they're edible, but I don't even know like how to go about cooking these things. Anyways, so I ripped them all out, and they grow by tubers. Well, these tubers, it just more and more come back up as you damage them. And so I thought, well, since they're so hardy, I'm going to transplant them into areas that are, lots of drought and really poor soil, heavy clay on the side of the house. And they live there, and they're multiplying, and it's crazy. But these plants will take over the whole area. And because they grow by these tubers, you really got to dig down deep, and you have to dig out layers of soil to get rid of this stuff. So ostrich fern, I could spray that thing with WD-40 and it would come back. Because I have sprayed it with WD-40 and it has come back. That's how bad it is. I hope this helped you guys out in deciding what to plant in your garden or what you may not want to plant in your garden. Let me know in the comments down below if there's a plant out there that you absolutely despise and you want to make sure people are aware of the dangers of putting that seed or that plant in their garden. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!